Hello and welcome to this year's first installment of GUTV Bracketology. I'm Brenna Greene.
And I'm Nick Brown. Special thanks to senior Greg Talbot for helping us shoot that intro. We look pretty good, if I do say so myself.
I think so. That intro was actually shot in Las Vegas. We were both there over spring break for spring, and it was just great. We had a great time,
yeah.
You know, and we stayed in the Monte Carlo, and we definitely had some adventures, to say the least, I'm sure.
It was funny. I got mistaken for a Gonzaga basketball player, not 3, but 5 times while in the Monte Carlo. Sometimes a little bit more aggressively. Some guy spanked me and wished me luck in the championship game because he had $50 signing on it. So that was pretty fantastic.
That's definitely a special moment you can always treasure.
You gotta love it when people bet on the Zags.
Well, we're just going to jump right into what you guys are here for, the rules for bracketology. There are 4 divisions this year. Like in years past, we have the alumni, current students, and friends and family divisions. Each group's bracket winner will receive a GUTV mic flag at the end of March Madness. But this year we have added a very special new group, the International Division, in honor of our classmate Fernando Valencia from Ecuador. At GUTV, we are passionate about global engagement. We want to spread our messages as far and as wide as we can and learn from the people we meet around the world. We are so excited to have all of our international friends from South America, Turkey, Italy, Slovenia, and more. Bienvenidos.
Now that we've talked about the different groups in bracketology, we're going to tell you how to sign up. If you haven't gotten an email from Dan yet, then email him at garrity@gonzaga.edu with the subject line of something along the lines of GUTV Bracketology. You're going to want to ask for the link to the group and the password. Be as creative as you want with this message. Brenna, for instance, clearly wanted to play, so she gave a message of, give me the group link and your password, or else. After registering with CBS Sports, log into the group with your email and your password. I know you really want to know Brenna's password to a bracket because it's awesome, but it's also not as good as mine. But that's not going to happen today. Then you're going to want to click at the link that says Add a Bracket. Finally, click on the teams that you think will advance in each round of the bracket, and it will automatically advance them for you. Keep doing that until you get to the end and you select your national champion, which will be Gonzaga, clearly. Don't forget to register as soon as possible, by Thursday preferably. As Dan says, don't wait, don't freaking wait.
We know all you alums, friends, and family live hectic lives. Catching up with Zag players might not be as big of a priority to you as it is to us. But don't worry, we'll fill you in. I went to the McCarthy Center yesterday to get some player reaction to what the Bulldogs thought about one of the biggest days in Gonzaga men's basketball history. To keep with our international theme, I talked to a player that has definitely come a long way to play at GU.
You guys haven't been in any tournament games before, but can you just speak to how much the fans impact, how much it means to have fans travel to games, especially since you just came back from Vegas?
Yeah, for sure, Vegas was crazy. I didn't expect that so many people will come from Spokane or even from other cities to support us. So I was really surprised.
Number 1 seed, number 1 ranking. How is it coming here your freshman year and having all these things happen for the first time?
Yeah, I think we played good, so now we just have to keep that work up. We have a few days to prepare, so as I said before, I'm excited to play my first game in March Madness, so we're going to see. Right now, we don't care what seed we are or what number you are in the country. You just have to focus on the next games.
Thanks, Shimmick. And the players aren't the only ones that are pumped about our historic number 1 seed. The whole campus is buzzing with excitement.
With my friend's house, and there's about 20 of us, and we were just waiting, and then we had to go through all of the other 3 brackets when we finally get to the West. And man, when we saw Gonzaga number 1, we just went crazy.
It's a great feeling just because you get to see them work really hard on the court and you see them around campus and it's really normal, but then you see them hit that court and you're just like, they deserve it.
All my friends are at school all around the country, so I got calls and they were all like yelling and they're saying, oh my God, that's so lucky, I bet it's going crazy.
Oh, excited, absolutely. I was a little nervous that they weren't going to give it to us. I was a little nervous we were going to come out with the 2, which wouldn't be terrible, but we wanted the 1 seed.
I think it's given Gonzaga a lot of notoriety, and I think a lot of people are motivated, and I think the players are motivated to capitalize on the number 1 seed.
I mean, you just look at Kelly and Harris playing, and they just I mean, Pangos and Gary Bell, I mean, they're all doing work out there, and we look great, and then not to mention Mike Hart.
Definitely going to be having that watch March Madness app on my phone, and hopefully, you know, some teachers aren't too strict on that. But other than that, I think, you know, just a lot of the guys just watching games together. You know, coming up here on Thursday, it's going to be pretty crazy. A lot of basketball, so looking forward to that.
Both the team and the students seem pretty happy with the seed, but taking a look at the Zags bracket, they really don't have time to celebrate. Nick, what do you think about the West region?
Personally, I think it's one of the easiest regions. I'm really excited that we got the 1 seed there. I think that it's easy because that would mean that, you know, if there are no upsets, then we play Kansas State, who we personally crushed during the year. The only thing I'm worried about is that Wisconsin's a 5 seed. I think that that's a little bit low for that team. And so I think if we face them, that'll be a tight game, but I think we make it through. I think we can make a Final Four.
Well, Sean Farnham actually tweeted at Dan Garrity and said that he is really happy with the Zag seed, and he thinks that Gonzaga can make it all the way to Atlanta. So we'll just have to see if Sean is correct. Coming up next, you'll hear from GUTV's own professor, Dan Garrity. He'll give us the breakdown on why this fun activity we're all doing together really makes a huge impact on our broadcasting program.
We're also going to catch up with one of our awesome GUTV seniors. That's next on GUTV Bracketology. Don't you go anywhere.
Buen dia and welcome to a new Global Gonzaga. I'm your host, Fernanda Valencia, and today we will find out where our correspondent, Amy Shotwell, went this weekend with some of her Florence classmates. Later on the show, I will walk you through La Calle de las Siete Cruces, which translates to the Street of the Seven Crosses in Quito, Ecuador. At the end of the show, we will find out who's our International Student of the Week. He can surprise you with some of the differences and similarities between Lent and Ramadan. Now, let's go to Florence and let's find out some of the places that Amy visited this weekend. Prague is the capital and the largest city of the Czech Republic. It is home to a number of famous cultural attractions, many of which survived the violence and destruction of the 20th century.
Hi Josh, how you doing?
After seeing all those pictures, I wish I was part of this program. Now, I'm gonna walk you through one of the most historical streets in my home city. In the past, the indigenous group Quitus lived in what is now the capital of Ecuador, Quito. The street Garcia Moreno was their trail from 2 adoration slopes. What most people don't know is that the crosses were built outside because indigenous people were not allowed to go in for mass. Especially during this time of Lent, is that I miss having those beautiful churches around me. Now it's time for our International Student of the Week. He goes by him, but his full name is Habibul Islam Mohammed Hahidunabi Khan. He is from Bangladesh, and he's gonna share a little bit about his traditions.
As Muslims, we do this thing called Ramadan, where we fast from sunrise to sunset without any food or water. And it's similar to Lent in the sense that we give up food for the whole time that there is no sunlight. We wake up like before the sun rises, like an hour before the sun rises, to prepare something to eat so that we survive the whole day. I mean, it's food and water for the whole day. And then after the sun sets, we say our prayers, and then we have like a mini feast every day. So it works out well, I would say. We get 2 to 3 meals during that time, usually 2, just the one before sunrise and the one after sunset.
Thank you, Him. Now I don't feel so bad about giving one thing up for Lent. Sadly, we have come to the end of our show, but I couldn't go without inviting you to La Raza Festival this Saturday, March 2nd in Cataldo at 7 p.m. You can see some of the dances from all Latin America, including mine from Ecuador. So I hope I'll see you there, and I hope you tune in for a new Global Gonzaga next week.
Hi guys, Professor Dan here. I just wanted to take a couple of minutes of your time to talk about something really important revolving around GUTV Bracketology. First of all, as a whole bunch of the shows, GUTV Bracketology started out just as a brainstorming session with my dear friend Phil Taylor and I over at the Broadcasting Annex not too far away. And since then, it's really grown into something a whole heck of a lot more. So now it's described as half television show, half alumni reunion online, and half fundraiser. It's that third half that I really want to call your attention to right now. We really do ask for your support. If you think that you are positively impacted by GUTV, I'm asking you to pony up a little bit and send us a little bit of your dough. Right now, University Relations is trying to make it very easy for this to take place. They're going to make a one little site where just with one click of a button, you could give us a little bit of your hard-earned money and let us know that you think maybe we're on the right track. Maybe you think we absolutely have the ability to get to where we need to be headed. I would also ask that you share the link and let your grandparents and your parents and aunts and uncles and anybody else that you think could possibly help us out, let them play GUTV Bracketology. We're going to send you the links very shortly, but until then, we really appreciate your support. Have a good time playing GUTV Bracketology, and what a great way to enjoy the rest of the tournament, because you are going to be cheering for the Zags, not just as a fan, but as a donor. So let's go back now to one of the hosts of GUTV Bracketology, Nick Brown.
Thanks, Dan. And now you know exactly where your generous donations will go. Every week on Bracketology, you're going to meet one of our standout seniors who is greatly impacted by this program. They've done great work here during their time at GU, and we want to share their accomplishments with you. With me today is senior Brian Koschesha, the legend. He has seized every opportunity thrown his way during his time at GU and has a ton to show for it. Thanks for being on the show, Brian.
It's nice to be a legend. Thank you.
Right. So you're working at KHQ right now.
Interning, yes.
And really, how's that going for you?
It's been great. I've been there since about late January, and it's they don't have quite as structured of an internship process as some of the other stations in town, but I think that's been really beneficial for me because it's been very much sort of a choose your own adventure sort of journey. You kind of just put yourself in the middle of a newsroom environment. You get to meet all kinds of different professionals in different areas in broadcasting. I've worked with producers. I've gone out with reporters. I've even TD'd a few pre-recorded breaks. I've done a little bit of everything. It's just been this really great experience.
Now, I know with the Choose Your Own Adventure, the adventure you would want to choose would be to direct. What kind of things are you getting out of KHQ that you really use?
Well, first of all, it's very different from how we run things here at GUTV. First of all, the system's completely different. They use Ross Overdrive. We use having a brain fart. We use Easy News technology. So basically everything over there is automatic. You code the show. You basically build the show before you ever go live. So it's a series of advancing the move as opposed to like building it and then putting it on TV. So basically the entire show is made before 5 o'clock when you go on air. It's a big difference from what I'm used to, but I'm trying to pick it up so I can have some career opportunities in the future, hopefully. Yeah.
So what would you say are kind of your favorite things about directing? What kind of draws you to it?
My favorite things, this sounds kind of crazy, but the anxiety and the pressure. I really like working under pressure, mostly because it's you're never bored. Like you can easily find yourself falling into a routine, but you'll never get that with directing, at least not in like the traditional sense. Like the commands and stuff are routine, but the show itself is always different. The pressures are always different. The problems that arise are always different. You're always facing new challenges, and it's always exciting. That's why I love it, because it's always fresh.
Yeah. So really using what you've learned here at GUTV, I guess what really has enhanced your skills? Because we mentioned that you've done a whole lot. So what really benefited you about going through this program?
Well, I mean, like I said, the things we do here are, everybody does it differently. We have our own method, but the principles and the concepts are virtually identical no matter where you go. Teamwork has been the biggest thing I've taken from GUTV, and it's no different here than it is at KHQ, and I imagine it's the same at KXLY, KREM, King in Seattle. No matter where you go in the country, if you work in TV, you have to work as a team, and you have to trust the people on your team. even if you have a problem with somebody, even if you're, so you don't quite agree with somebody, for half an hour at a time, you have to come together and look past those differences, and you have to put gold on TV, or as close to gold as you can get.
Now using that kind of the skills of teamwork and the other more technical things that you've done here, what do you plan to do with it? Where do you really want to go?
I mean, obviously I want to work in live TV. Directing would be great. I see myself starting at hopefully, like, if I can get a job in Spokane out of college, I would jump at that opportunity in a heartbeat. It's a really good sized market. But most people do start out in smaller markets, and I honestly wouldn't be opposed to getting a job in my hometown in Montana, much smaller than Spokane by a big margin. But the benefits of working in a smaller market is you get to advance faster. You get to start doing more advanced positions, whereas if I were to start in Spokane, I'd probably begin as a production assistant, moving cameras around, and eventually, hopefully, working my way up to a position that I see myself as. So they each have their benefits, and I don't know, a lot of it's kind of up to the fates, I guess, to see where I end up.
Perfect. Well, Brian, thank you so much. It's been an honor.
Thank you. It's always good talking to you.
Very skilled guy. We wish him the best of luck in the future. And after the break, Brenna has the lowdown on what Joe Beretta is up to these days. You're watching GUTV Bracketology.
Those longboarders are really starting to get on my nerves.
Bikers and scooters, too. They act like they own the sidewalk.
Yeah, earlier I was walking around and I saw a skateboarder. He was coming at me real hot and my friend was like, whoa. Then he just ran right into me. Then I looked at him and he said, my friend told him to share the concrete. So then I was like, yeah, share the concrete, bro.
Yeah, people with wheels need to share.
Producer Andrew Opila here with my professor Dan Garrity, and we are so stoked to show you this next episode of the show.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
It's a fantastic place. It's an inspirational place. From Christian spirituality to Islamic spirituality, this is Turkey.
Hello and welcome back to Bracketology. As we mentioned before the break, we are featuring an alum every single week, and this week we are featuring a very prominent alumni from GUTV, very well known. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to sit down with Joe Beretta. He's a GUTV alum, most known around Gonzaga's campus for the video Gonzaga Love. Joe's been up to some new and exciting things recently, but he still manages to take a little piece of GUTV and Gonzaga with him. Check it out.
So you graduated a long time ago, I know that. Time ago.
Not a long time ago, but before any of us were here.
You're an old man and you're dying. A good way to start the interview.
Okay, so
I graduated in 2005.
Okay, 2005. So you graduated, yeah, almost, well, 8
But you
years
were in
ago.
8th grade or 7th grade, which also makes me feel like I'm old and dying.
There we go. So what have you been up to since graduation, in particular, recently within the last couple of years?
Right after graduation, just started doing production work at Corner Booth Productions in Spokane. I'll give you the quick version. Then the YouTube thing started, and lived in Spokane doing YouTube and some TV movie stuff in Hollywood, flying down there, going back to Spokane. And then about 3-4 years ago, we moved to Hollywood. When I say we, I mean my comedy partner Luke and also my family. And been living here for 3-4 years, and now I'm doing SourceFed on YouTube, which is a kind of like a newsy comedy show while still doing Brats and Brenna. We're going to release a video tomorrow, actually. And yeah, that's how it is. Doing the grind in LA.
Nice. And so how has the Brats and Brenna thing going recently?
Oh, it's going good. We kind of didn't get a lot out there last year, and that was more on my shoulders because I was trying something new in the entertainment world, and that was kind of a full-time job. The SourceFed thing, I'm there from 6 in the morning till 3-4 in the afternoon, looking at news and making videos and stuff. So one of my goals is to get Brats and Brenna rolling a little bit more this year. We actually also shot a video with the president of Gonzaga.
That's exciting.
Did that in the summer, and then I think he was amazing in it, super funny, but I think the administration got cold feet, and they weren't sure they wanted the president to be in a comedy video.
Well, hopefully they loosen up on that a little bit, because I'm sure we would all be really excited about that. I know that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he's the best part of it, hands down. So hopefully they let the kids see it someday.
That's awesome. That's good to hear. So if there's one piece of advice you could take away from being involved in GUTV, what would that be?
I would say just keep making stuff is really what it comes down to. For me, when I was there, I wasn't so much into, I was a broadcast student, but I wasn't so much into the news side of it. I wanted to do things with cameras and make entertainment, but more in the comedy realm, narrative, scripted, stuff like that. And I think there's that opportunity. So if you have an idea, just go for it. And the other side of that is you can take that thing you got for a grade and put it on YouTube and start to grow an audience and start to try new things and be experimental. And I think a lot of people from GUTV have been doing that. I mean, 2005, when I started on, like Dan Seibert and Malahan, those type of people. Colin Murphy, another star of the program.
And it's all about kind of building your own brand nowadays. Do you have any suggestions towards building your own brand? You kind of touched on it there.
I think as far as, it's so crazy because I've got it far from mastered, because you have to be your own publicist, your own marketer, from start to finish. You've got to pump yourself out there in a positive manner, and you've got to do it on all the social platforms. It's like a second job that you almost need to hire somebody for. But I think the most important part about that is while you're creating this brand, while you're making this persona, you're still staying true to yourself and the goals that you want to achieve while creating this secondary entertainment or news-based persona. You got to start with where your heart is and then go from there. Don't kind of forget that you started in one place, and you don't want to have that second you become the you that you are. I know that's weird, but don't forget yourself while promoting yourself.
That's cool. That's something I hadn't really thought about, but you're totally right on that. And then, final question. How has your time at Gonzaga impacted how you live your life today?
I would say I'm still super connected to all my friends that I went to school with. I suppose it's made me accustomed to kind of a family atmosphere, be it my own family, be it always having my friends and family around, like keeping a core base of people that are basically just going to take this life journey with you from start to finish, and reveling in that and needing that. Kind of like the small community thing while dealing in a big social promoting publicist world.
Joe is definitely one of the awesome alums that we students look up here at GUTV, and I just want to thank him so much for giving some time to me yesterday. That was really, really an awesome interview, and we wish him all of the best.
Now, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for our first GUTV Bracketology. Tune in next week for our second installment.
We'll feature another fabulous GUTV senior and an alum who's doing great things in the business. And of course, we'll give you updates about how the brackets are shaping up. We even have something special planned with Barkalow.
And in the meantime, chat with us and reunite with other alums by tweeting at GUTVZags. Use the hashtag GUTV Bracketology or like us on Facebook at Gonzaga Television official page. We're even having a caption contest. Check out the picture and give it your best shot, pun intended.
Also, we're going to update you on how exactly to donate to our lovely program. We love it here. It's been a great experience. We really would love it if you guys donated. For all of us at GUTV, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time, and go Zags!
Come on, Zags, let's go, Zags, come on.